Okay, so this is my child pose workout, part one of many probably. I started this a long time ago, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and when I tried to do this, it hurt all through here. So um, I found on the floor didn't do anything for me or stretching my back or anything, so I knew I had to raise up, and then I just went into the child pose like this, and I even asked my brother, can you do this? And he was like, yeah, no problem. But then he does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he's used to being all crammed up. But I found it really tight through here and my lower back, so I started doing this. I want to get a little higher up here. And one thing I recently just tried was raising my arms. And that is very difficult. Oh, I can really feel it in my shoulders. So I don't know if that's weakness, or that's just basic anatomy, or just tightness, but I'm gonna find out because I think that should be easier. Now, as soon as you start pulling your arms out, it becomes a lot easier. And this is working your back muscles, your shoulder blades, all that stuff. And I think I used to just stop here, but oh, that's so difficult. Oh, and I got a crack in my neck there. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So anyway, if you can't do that, just move your arms out until you can do it and do these pulses. What a good warm-up. You feel so good and loose once you do this stuff. Now the other thing I like to do here in child pose is dislocates. Put your hands behind your back and do some pulses. There's 24, and I stretch them to the side. And I don't know if it matters or not, but I like to interlock my fingers with the left finger over top sometimes, instead of always the right finger over top. And I'll do another set. Oh. Okay, and then I like to do this. I like to clasp my hands together, pull them up, and then flap my arms like wings. And I haven't seen any exercises online where people show you how to work your arms and shoulders behind your back. But since I've been doing it, my shoulders have been feeling so much better. All right. And then I've shown this in another video, but you can do your push-ups of all variations here. Back of the wrist push-ups. And if you don't have a lot of time, just do a set of 4. Okay, full hand push-ups. Okay, and then you can start, with 2 fingers. This is stretching out all the arms and fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers and a thumb, 4 fingers. Do every variation you can think of. Inverted hands, this is good. This is good. Stretching the wrists out like that. All this stuff is very, very good. All right. And while we're here, cat-cow, which I think is a great movement that everybody should be able to do. But really work it. Stretch to the max. Wiggle around a bit. Oh, and that just reminded me. really squeeze hard on my lower back here. But what did that just remind me of? That's hilarious. Okay. And it was something, oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so when you're doing the child pose, another thing that you should do, and I just forgot, was try stretching to the side, and you're gonna feel it right down here. Oh yeah. And then of course the other side. So you'll feel that in your lats all the way up to your arm. And you'll feel it in your hips a bit too. Okay, that feels good. All right, and then another thing you can do while you're here is, while on your shins, is just sit-ups. So everybody can do this. Maybe I'm gonna get down on one cushion here for better balance, but can you do this? And then I like to manipulate my tailbone and just stretch out here. Oh. And I like to get my thumbs in there and go all the way up my back. Oh. Oh. All right, and then go back down, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And you might find that very difficult. Getting up in all one motion or going down in one motion is super easy. But getting up a bit and holding it, you'll feel it in your knees, your quads, up here on your hips. So I'm gonna stop there. Okay, so now we're getting into the nitty gritty. I have my trusty 3-pound dumbbells. That might be too much weight for a beginner. You might want to start with 1 pound or a water bottle or whatever it is. If you've already done these with just your arm weight, your just body weight, you know, if you're doing all these things, the pulses in a, you know, full range, and you can do that, well then the next step is to start adding weight. And it doesn't take a lot of weight to realize how small and weak those muscles are. Oh, I can barely lift it, but am I ever getting some clicks and pops in my shoulders and neck? Oh. Down here, it's easy to lift the arms to a full range, or a much greater range, I should say. But up here, oh my goodness, so difficult. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, okay, so you get the idea. But boy, does that ever help the back and the shoulders. Oh, they feel so good. They're just glowing now. All right, so that's that. All right. Continuing with my stretch and pulse for shoulders exercises. And again, all this can be done just with body weight, just using your arms. But once you've done that, then it's time to add some weight, and that's where the real, what's the word? That's where the real progressions and increase benefits. Yeah, that's where the increased benefits are really going to start happening. So we've done this, where you're just doing pulses, And by the way, if you turn your arms over, it can increase the difficulty, which I'm not worried about the difficulty level so much as that I'm trying to stretch the muscles and use them in every different position that I can. And then when you get up here, you pretty much have to turn them over. Okay. And these, and these, and these. Whoop. Windshield wipers and opposite windshield wipers. I create names as I create names for my exercises as I invent them. So create your own names. Okay, so 3 pounds. Now, I got this from gymnasts. Do straight arm little pulses, lock your elbows. And if you get to a point where there's a little bit of pain, then just stop and work into it. And if you can't do a squat, then let the arms relax, go past the squat and continue on. Now I used to have that, but I would just work through them. And now I have no shoulder pain in my left shoulder for the first time in decades, which is so awesome. But I can still feel it right there. That's where it used to be. So the muscles still aren't as relaxed as they probably need to be. Right there. Yeah. And just stretch out those shoulder blades, loosen them up. As I said before, anytime your subconscious mind says, you know, try this, just do it. Wiggle your body, move it around to whatever. Just try everything. Okay, now here's one that I haven't seen anybody do online or anywhere else, and it has been pure magic for my shoulders and my neck, and that is to lay on your side. So let me see what's the best position here. Yeah, okay, so my top leg is forward facing in front of me, and my bottom arm is facing in front of me. And then what you do is you put your dumbbell behind you and you do these, oh yeah, over behind your back, arm raises. And definitely you might want to try that without the weight first. And just ease into it. I've got to keep moving down because I'm too tall. Stretch it out. And then go down beside you. And you might need to do that for weeks or months. Just like that. But once you start adding even the slightest bit of weight, the benefits are exponential. And I like to do a set of 16 here, and I'm going to do all 16 because when I get here, I just enjoy it so much, and I know how good it's going to feel when I'm done. And then these, now these are like the Powel raises that knees over toe guys, Ben talks about. He does them on a bench on an angle, but this is the same thing. And this reminds me of something else. So before I get into that, when you're on your side here, another thing you should always try doing is twisting your torso. Yeah, okay. So this in itself is an exercise I used to do, and I would get all kinds of clicks and pops. And now I think because of the other exercises I'm doing, it's not as big a deal as it used to be. But anyway, these are, and you might not be able to touch the ground when you reach back. I'm just going to do 4 of these for now. All right, time to do the other side. So, top leg is forward, bottom arm is forward. And we're just going to do body weight first. Oh, did you hear that click? Oh, well, while we're here then, let's do this stretch here. Oh yeah. Oh, that was good. Don't need a chiropractor anymore when you're doing this stuff, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. All right, so now the arm raises behind the back. And again, I gotta scoot lower. Oh, stretch it out. You know, you might try a bottle of water, half a bottle of water, when you start adding weight. I sometimes do these with 5 pounds, and I have no problem with doing 5 pounds now. But it was a process building up to 5 pounds. I'm getting so many releases in my lower spine. So, you know, you think you're doing your shoulders and neck, and then everything starts popping and clicking and releasing. So. Okay, there's 16 of those, and then the Powel raises. Normally I like to do 8 to 16 of these, but I'll just do 4. And I'm afraid I'm out of video already. Okay, so this is the next progression in my shoulder stretch and pulse routine. And let me just, well, actually I don't want to go too far back. Okay, so this is probably good. All right, so this time you're elevated a bit, and you could even do it like this. Yeah, I've done it like this sometimes too. So let's try it like this. And again, you can do the pulses with just body weight. But I like to get up over so I can get my arms over and get the full range of motion, right like that. Stretch out my shoulders as far as possible. This is so good. Okay, and then of course you want to do it the other direction, laying on your stomach. Let's do the same thing with 3-pound dumbbells. Move over just a tad. And again, just keep your elbows locked. Then you get to feel like you're a gymnast. I like to do full range. Then overheads and stretch out as far as you can. And then cross the arms. Oh. All right, that's great. And now we'll do the same thing, but this time we're going to use 5-pound ankle weights. I guess I didn't roll over on my stomach with the 3-pound weights, so let's do that before we get into the ankle weights. Like I said before, it doesn't take much weight. To make you realize how small those muscles are and how weak they are. So I got that idea from Ben Patrick from Knees Over Toes Guy. You know, this is pretty much his trap 3 raises. I just like to do them in a full range of motion. And I also found that doing them on your back, like this, stomach up, is something that we all need to do for the shoulders and neck and all that stuff. So, pretty much the same deal. Locked arms, do the pulses. Just 2 or 3 in each position. 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe 4 if you're really ambitious or have enough time or strength. I have to straighten, extend my legs just for balance. And remember I said there's a spot on my left shoulder. Well, when I use 5-pound weights, I feel that spot right there. So I like to stay in that spot and stretch it out and strengthen it. Oh yeah. All right. And now, for me, the harder part is always doing this direction, laying on my stomach. Okay. Whoa, that's enough. Oh, I'm sweating. Ooh, feels good though. Okay, so this is the second last progression in my shoulder stretch and pulse routine. I've got 3 different kinds of weights here. I got a 3-pound dumbbell, a 5-pound ankle weight, and a 10-pound dumbbell. I'm getting tired, so I'm going to go through these quickly. So the nice thing about the angle bench is you can rest your head, and it isn't as full of range of motion, so there's not quite as much work. But you can stretch down pretty far. And that feels great in the shoulders, and stretch it as far as you can. Oh yeah. So I'm only going to do one set of each weight. So this is 5 pounds. This is a big weight difference. If I find a spot where I feel it needs some extra stretching, I'll do 2 or 3 reps at that one spot. Right shoulder is tight there. Oh, then the left shoulder just popped. Now the right shoulder again. So it's all good. All right, shake that off. All right, now I'm gonna do 10 pounds and see what we can do with that. Again, keep your elbows locked out. Okay, don't bend your arms. And you're really gonna feel it in your biceps. I don't even know how much I can do here. Oh. Oh. That's about as far as I'm gonna go today. Oh, that's a big jump from 5 pounds to 10 pounds. But does it ever pump up your biceps? Wow. Okay, one more progression. So you can figure out where you want to set yourself on the bench for a full range of motion. Okay. All right. So let's try the 3-pounders. And you know, I just realized I didn't do the angle bench trap 3 raises. We'll get to that. Anyway, here we go. Oh, that's in the way. That's in the way. Here we go. All right, and then let's do the laying on the stomach version. So that's it for the 3s. Now we're up to the 5-pound ankle weights. All right, get myself together here. Keep the arms locked. Oh, lots of clicks on my right shoulder. Be gentle when you're, stretched out this far. You might want to just do 1 or 2 inch range of motion pulses, not very big. I haven't been doing these on all the different variations, but these are still good to do. And the arm crossovers. Oh yeah. Okay. Whoa. Ooh, that's tough work. And now trap 3s. Okay, those are tough. 5 pounds, at least for me. All right, and now see what I can do with 10 pounds. 10 pounds can be a lot of weight. Keep the elbows locked, and I know I'm not going to be putting these over my head. Well, I'm doing better than I thought. Let's see where we can go with this. Oh. Oh. I'm feeling that in my arms, so I'm going to stop there. Oh, that was definitely burning out the arms here. Okay, so the last one is the one I forgot. And this is actually the trap 3s that Ben Patrick, Mr. Knees Over Toes guy shows, and I've done these a lot. And they're great. And I usually do them with 5 pounds, but I'm gonna see what I can do with 10s here. Oh, my arms are too tired. I can't do 10s. So we'll go to the 5s. Again, he likes them at a certain angle. I like them at every angle. Okay. Now I can normally do 10 pounds, but because I've done so many sets all in a row here, my arms are toast. Okay, that's it for my shoulder stretch and pulse routine. Oh, it feels so good. And of course it's going to loosen up the neck and everywhere else and strengthen it too, so you have better posture, etc., etc., etc.